Focus until you're unrecognizable, right? Here's something that'll proper stop you in your tracks. What if I told you that 12 months from today, the people closest to you won't even recognize who you've become? Not because you've lost yourself, mate, but because you've finally found who you were always meant to be. See, everyone's banging on about success these days, aren't they? But here's the kicker. Most people aren't willing to do what it actually takes to earn it. They want the transformation without the discipline. They want the results without the work. They want to be unrecognizable without actually changing a bloody thing about how they live. But you're different. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening to this right now. So let me ask you something. What's the one thing that separates those who rise above all the noise from those who stay stuck in the same patterns, year after year after year? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even opportunity. It's focus. Not just any focus, mind you. I'm talking about ruthless, disciplined, unwavering focus. The kind that turns you into a completely different human being. The kind that makes your old mates look at you and think, bloody hell, what happened to them? And that's exactly what we're after, isn't it? Now, before we dive deep into this transformation, let me paint you a picture of what most people's lives actually look like. They wake up, first thing they do, grab their phone, start scrolling through whatever nonsense the algorithms decided to serve them today. Check messages. Respond to things that don't matter. Get that little dopamine hit from social media. Then they wonder why they feel anxious, stuck, or completely unfulfilled by lunchtime. Sound familiar? Here's the brutal truth. Focus doesn't just happen by accident. It's not something that falls from the sky and lands in your lap. It's a choice, a deliberate, conscious choice that you make every single bloody day. You choose not to check your phone the moment you wake up. You choose to start your day with intention instead of reaction. You choose your priorities before the world starts handing you distractions on a silver platter. And when you do this consistently, something absolutely wild begins to happen. You start to change. Not gradually, not slowly, but fundamentally. You stop operating like the old version of yourself. You stop needing permission from others to pursue what matters to you. You start building discipline that becomes your new identity. There's something incredibly powerful about watching yourself do hard things consistently. Every single time you show up, especially when you don't feel like it, you're building trust with yourself. That's the foundation of real confidence, mate. People have got this backwards idea about confidence. They think it's about walking into a room feeling brilliant about yourself. That's not confidence, that's arrogance. Real confidence is quiet. It's knowing, deep down, that you can depend on yourself to do what you said you would do. No questions asked. Focus creates that kind of confidence. And as you start stacking these small wins, waking up on time, completing that workout you promised yourself, saying no to distractions that used to control, you begin to outgrow your old self entirely. You stop chasing motivation like it's some mythical creature. You start moving with momentum. Real, tangible momentum that builds on itself day after day. But here's where it gets proper challenging to become unrecognizable. You've got to be willing to be misunderstood. You've got to say no when everyone else is saying yes. You've got to shut off the noise, even when it feels like you're missing out on everything. That means fewer nights out at the pub. Fewer late nights binge-watching whatever series everyone's talking about. Fewer conversations that don't align with your vision of who you're becoming. It means being okay with missing out because you're focused on something infinitely greater. This is T-part. Nobody talks about, is it? Focus can be bloody lonely, but it's also the most powerful form of self-respect you can give yourself. When you focus, you're telling the world, my goals matter. My time matters. My future matters more than your opinion of how I should be living. And listen, this isn't about being perfect. Perfect doesn't exist, and anyone who tells you otherwise is having you on. This is about being committed. Absolutely, unwaveringly committed. You're going to mess up. You're going to get distracted. You're going to have days where you feel like you've completely lost the plot. But that doesn't mean you've failed. It means you're human. The difference between focused people and everyone else: they course correct quickly. They don't spiral for days or weeks. They notice the slip, acknowledge it without drama, and get straight back on track. That's the power of self. And the more aware you become of how your habits shape your identity, the easier it becomes to shift into the person you're meant to be. Look, transformation doesn't happen overnight. You don't become a focused, unstoppable version of yourself by watching one video or reading one book. You become that person by making the decision every single day to show up with intention, to do the work, to protect your time like your life depends on it. You stop scrolling mindlessly and start building deliberately. You stop overthinking every little thing and start taking action. And slowly but surely, your life begins to reflect your effort. People will notice. They'll say, "You've changed." And you know what? You'll smile because they're absolutely right. You have changed. You focused. You worked. You sacrificed. You built something real. And in the process, you became someone even you didn't recognize anymore. In the best possible way. That's the goal, mate. Focus until you're unrecognizable. Until your old excuses don't fit the new you. Until your daily habits reflect the life you used to only dream about. Because at the end of the day, your future isn't created by luck. It's created by focus. Consistent, committed, disciplined focus. And if you're willing to give yourself that gift, there's absolutely nothing you can't become. Now, here's something most people get completely wrong about focus. Focus isn't about intensity for short bursts. It's not about going mental for a week and then burning out. Anyone can get motivated for a day, a week, maybe even a month if they're lucky. But the person who transforms their life, they're the one who learns how to focus when it's boring, when no one's watching, when there's no applause, no recognition, no immediate reward. That's where the real work happens. That's when the identity shift takes place. Because the truth is, most people quit when things get repetitive. They think if it doesn't feel exciting, it must not be working. But that's completely backwards. Progress is hidden inside the repetition. Success lives in the boring, unsexy, daily actions. The early morning workouts when you'd rather stay in bed. The consistent routines that nobody sees. The saying no over and over again to things that don't serve your vision. That's where champions are made. The reason focus makes you unrecognizable is because it forces you to leave behind the version of yourself that always needed stimulation, distraction, and quick results. Focus demands maturity. It asks you to grow up and own your time completely. It asks you to stop blaming circumstances and start taking control of your choices. That shift when you stop being a victim of your environment and start becoming the architect of your reality, that is. When everything begins to change, and yes, people around you might not get it. They might call you obsessed. They might not support your boundaries. They might even try to pull you back into old patterns because your growth makes them uncomfortable. That's okay. They're not supposed to understand your mission. It's not theirs, it's yours. You have to be brave enough to let go of being liked by everyone. You have to let go of fitting in with people who aren't going where you're going. You have to stop explaining yourself to people who aren't on the same path. Because focus isn't just about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it better. It's about eliminating the noise so you can finally hear your own voice. And that voice, the one inside you that knows you're meant for more, it gets louder when you stop drowning it in distractions. Think about this for a moment. How many hours have you lost to things that didn't move your life forward? Social media scrolling, overthinking situations you can't control, worrying about what other people think of your choices. Now imagine if you took all that time and redirected it toward your goals. Imagine the version of you that would emerge from that focused effort. That version is already inside you, but you have to bring them to life through action. Not talk, not planning. Action. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need a 10-step plan that covers every possible scenario. What you need is a reason to get serious. A reason to stop playing small. A reason to stop waiting for someday. Maybe your reason is the future family you want to provide for. Maybe it's the life you promised yourself when you were younger and full of dreams. Maybe it's simply proving to yourself that you can do it. Whatever that reason is, hold it closely. Because when you're tired, when you want to give up, when you start doubting whether any of this is worth it, that reason is going to be the thing that keeps you going. And let me tell you something else that nobody talks about. Focus builds self-respect in a way nothing else can. You start genuinely liking yourself more when you consistently do what you said you would do. That's why this matters so much, not just for the external results, but for your relationship with yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, when you honor your time, when you stop procrastinating on the things that matter, you stop feeling like a fraud. You stop feeling stuck in your own life. You start walking differently, talking differently, thinking differently. People will notice this shift before you do sometimes. You'll catch them looking at you with curiosity, wondering what's changed. That's when you know it's working. But remember, this isn't about being better than anyone else. Competition with others is a distraction. This is about becoming better than who you were yesterday. Every single day, you wake up and you choose distraction or discipline, comfort or growth, excuses or execution. And over time, those choices compound. Focused compounds, your discipline compounds. And so does your transformation. One day you'll look in the mirror and not even recognize the person staring back at you. Not because you're lost, but because you finally found who you were always meant to be. This isn't motivational fluff. This is how transformation actually works in the real world. It starts with a decision to get serious about your life. It continues with daily discipline that most people aren't willing to maintain. And it ends with a new version of you, stronger, clearer, more powerful than you ever imagined possible. That's what happens when you focus with intention. That's what happens when you stop giving your precious energy to everything that doesn't matter. So if you want to change your life, don't just set goals like everyone else. Don't just talk about your dreams at dinner parties. Focus until you're unrecognizable. That's the work. That's the path, and it's worth every second of effort you put into it. Now, there's a version of you that exists on the other side of this focused effort, a version that's disciplined, confident, and unstoppable. The only way to meet that version is through consistent discipline. You won't stumble into greatness by accident. You won't randomly wake up one morning with a millionaire mindset, a strong body, a calm mind, or unshakable confidence. These things are earned. They're built through intentional focus, day after day after day, when it's inconvenient, when it's hard, and especially when it feels like no one is clapping for your efforts. That's the difference between those who become exceptional and those who stay average. The average person gives up when it gets quiet, when the novelty wears off. The focused person becomes even more dangerous in the silence. You have to train yourself to value progress over popularity, while everyone else is chasing likes and attention and external validation. The focused person is quietly building something real, something lasting. Focus makes you unrecognizable, not just because of what you achieve, but because of who you become in the process. You become more patient, more intentional, more aligned with your actual purpose rather than what you think others expect from you. You start seeing through distractions for what they really are. Thieves. Thieves of time. Thieves of energy. Thieves of your future. You start protecting your time like your life depends on it. Because it does. The way you spend your days is literally the way you build your life. And here's something wild that most people never realize. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they keep starting over. Every time they get distracted, every time they chase something shiny and new, every time they give up too soon, they reset the progress they could have built. You don't need more talent. You need more focus. Because focus gives your existing potential direction. It turns your scattered energy into concentrated power. When you know exactly what you'll be working toward and you eliminate everything that doesn't move you forward, your life starts to take off. Quietly at first, then all at once. The world will eventually take notice. But by then you won't be doing it for applause. You'll be doing it because you've tasted what it feels like to live fully focused, and nothing else even comes close. Focus also reveals what actually matters in your life. When you stop chasing every shiny opportunity, when you stop trying to please everyone around you, when you stop letting every notification own your attention, you finally see what's worth your time. You find clarity. And clarity is an absolute superpower in a world full of confused, distracted people. Because once you're clear on your direction, decisions become so much easier. You stop hesitating on obvious choices. You stop second-guessing yourself into paralysis. You move with purpose and intention. That's when momentum really kicks in. That's when you start closing the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. But here's something most self-help content won't tell you. Focus requires genuine discomfort. It's uncomfortable to sit with your own thoughts instead of numbing them with endless entertainment. It's uncomfortable to say no to things that used to bring you immediate comfort. It's uncomfortable to wake up earlier, stay focused longer, and demand more from yourself than you'd ever have before. But on the other side of that discomfort, that's where you find real freedom. The freedom to choose your own path. The freedom to design your life according to your values, not society's expectations. The freedom to become the kind of person who doesn't need to escape their own reality because they've built one they're genuinely proud of. And let's be completely honest about this. Focus will cost you things. It'll cost you time with people who don't align with your vision. It'll cost you weekends that look different from your mates. It'll cost you your old identity. The version of you that made excuses, settled for less, and gave up when things got challenging. But what you gain in return makes every sacrifice worth it. You gain genuine self-respect. You gain unstoppable momentum. You gain real results that speak for themselves. You gain a version of yourself who doesn't just dream about a better life. They execute the plan to create it. That version of you is waiting, but they won't come alive until you get serious about focus. So ask yourself this question: what are you willing to sacrifice for the life you say you want? Because here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. You can't keep living like everyone else and expect to stand out. You can't keep giving your energy to everything and expect to build something meaningful. You have to choose. Choose focus over noise. Choose consistency over chaos. Choose discipline over instant gratification. And if you do that long enough, with enough intensity, you won't even recognize yourself in 12 months' time. That's not a threat. That's a promise. Focus until you're unrecognizable. Not to prove anyone wrong, but to prove to yourself that you are absolutely capable of becoming everything you were meant to be. Every single day, you wake up with a choice in front of you. You can either align with your goals or align with your excuses. You can move forward or stay exactly where you are. You can focus with intention or distract yourself with meaningless activities. The truth is, the life you want, it's already within reach. It's just hiding behind every distraction you keep choosing instead. Focus is the bridge between your potential and your actual results. It's not about doing more things. It's about doing what actually matters and doing it with complete intention over and over again. Most people don't lack talent or vision. They lack focus. They start strong and fade fast. They get hyped for a few days, maybe a few weeks, but then fall back into the exact same patterns that kept them stuck in the first place. Because without focus, energy gets wasted. Potential gets lost in the noise. Dreams stay as dreams forever. The reason most people never become who they're capable of being isn't because they don't want it badly enough. It's because they never build the mental muscle to stay locked in on one thing long enough to see it through to completion. We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. A world where distractions are literally designed to be addictive by teams of psychologists and data scientists. But the moment you choose to take complete control of your focus, you become dangerous. You start seeing progress where others see problems. You start building momentum where others feel completely stuck. You start showing up consistently, and that consistency alone separates the amateurs from the professionals. When you truly focus, you stop chasing motivation like it's some magical feeling that has to strike you first. You realize that motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. But focus becomes a system, a way of operating that doesn't depend on how you feel in any given moment. You don't need to feel inspired to do the work. You just do Italiano, point blank, end of discussion. And something incredibly powerful happens when you start following through consistently, even when you don't feel like it. You develop real grit. You start seeing yourself as someone who follows through on their commitments. You stop being the person who talks about what they're going to do someday. You start being the person who just does it quietly and consistently and over time. That work ethic compounds in ways you can't even imagine yet. You stop being known as the person with potential and start becoming known as the person who gets results. People around you might not understand this transformation. They might say you're doing too much, that you've changed, that you've become too serious about life. Let them talk, because they don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel when you're building something meaningful. They don't know what you're creating behind the scenes, and honestly, they don't have to understand. This focus isn't about them. It's about you and the future you're deliberately creating with your choices. If you want average results, keep doing what average people do. Scroll through social media for hours. Watch Netflix until your eyes burn. Complain about your circumstances while doing nothing to change them. But if you want to become exceptional, if you want to build a life that reflects your highest potential, then you have to be willing to lock in. Even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when no one's clapping for your efforts. The beautiful thing about focus is that it multiplies your effort exponentially. Instead of spreading yourself thin across a dozen different priorities, you go deep on what matters most. You make real progress. Instead of just staying busy, you learn faster because your attention isn't scattered. You grow stronger because your energy is concentrated. And eventually, the life you once thought was impossible becomes your new normal. But you have to earn that transformation through hours of deep work, through days when it feels like nothing's changing, through weeks when progress is completely invisible to everyone around you. That's what makes focused effort so powerful, because anyone can work hard when things are easy and exciting. But focus shows its true strength in those quiet moments when no one is watching and you keep going anyway. The person you want to become, they already exist as a possibility. But you'll never meet them until you stop living distracted, until you stop numbing your discomfort with short-term pleasures, until you stop waiting for the perfect time to start. Focus turns your intentions into actual outcomes. It doesn't just make you more productive, it makes you more alive, more engaged with your own life. Because when you're locked in on a mission that matters to you, when you wake up with genuine purpose, when your time finally reflects your deepest values, you start becoming the person you were always meant to be. That's what makes you unrecognizable. Not a new wardrobe or a few quick wins, but the internal transformation that comes from consistently choosing discipline over ease, growth over comfort, and purpose over popularity. So if you're tired of feeling stuck in the same patterns, tired of starting over every few months, tired of living the same year on repeat, then it is time to choose differently. Start small if you need to. Cut one major distraction from your life. Create one simple system that supports your goals. Focus on one clear objective and then protect it with everything you have. Show up for it every single day. Not perfectly, but relentlessly. And watch what happens when your focus becomes sharper than your fears. Watch what happens when you stop negotiating with your own excuses. You'll change. Not gradually over years, but radically in a matter of months. And people won't recognize you. That's not a side effect of this process. That's the entire goal. Focused until you're unrecognizable. Because that version of you, the disciplined, fulfilled, powerful version, they're waiting for you to make the choice. All you have to do is lock in and never look back. Now, there comes a moment in every person's life when you realize something profound: being average is a choice, and so is being great. That moment of realization is defined by one simple decision: to focus with complete intensity or to remain distracted by everything that doesn't matter. Everything changes when you make that choice. Your thoughts shift from scattered to sharp. Your energy transforms from chaotic to concentrated. Your goals stop being wishes and become non-negotiable commitments. You start operating on a completely different level. Not because you're better than anyone else, but because you've decided to give your full attention to what truly matters in your life. You stop chasing 10 different opportunities at once. You start pursuing one vision with everything you've got. That's the mindset that builds champions. That's the discipline that makes you unrecognizable over time. The world will always try to pull you in 1,000 different directions. Notifications designed to hijack your attention. Other people's opinions about how you should live. Obligations that aren't really obligations. Temptations that promise instant gratification but deliver long-term regret. They're all designed to scatter your focus across meaningless activities. And if you're not completely intentional about protecting your attention, you'll spend your entire life reacting to other people's priorities instead of creating your own reality. But the second you decide to take complete control of your attention, you take your power back in the most fundamental way possible. Focus isn't just a productivity strategy, it's a lifestyle. It's the way you show yourself and the world that your purpose is stronger than your excuses. Every single time you choose to stay committed when it's easier to quit, you're carving out a new identity. Not with words or intentions, but with action. Not with hope, but with habit. You can't expect to live an extraordinary life with ordinary habits. You can't expect to transform your circumstances if you're still feeding your distractions more attention than your dreams. You've got to become obsessed with improvement. Not in a toxic, never satisfied way, but in a purposeful, growth-oriented way. You get crystal clear on what you want to create. Then you build the daily systems that support that vision, one choice at a time. That's where genuine confidence is born, from alignment. When your daily behavior matches the person you're becoming, you no longer need validation from anyone else. You feel powerful because you are in complete control of your choices. And it's not about being perfect. Perfect doesn't exist, and chasing it will drive you mad. It's about staying on the path you've chosen. You'll have off days. You'll make mistakes. You'll occasionally fall back into old patterns. But focus gives you a reason to get back up immediately, because you're not doing this for quick wins or temporary motivation. You're doing it for the long game. You're building something bigger than a to-do list. You're building a legacy. And that takes time. Real time. That takes endurance when everyone else has given up. It takes grit when the novelty is completely worn off. Most people stop because they don't see dramatic results fast enough. They expect transformation to happen on social media but when you're truly focused on becoming the person you're meant to be, you learn to trust the process completely. You show up regardless of how you feel in any given moment because you know the outcome is absolutely inevitable. If you just don't stop. One of the greatest gifts that focus brings to your life is clarity. When you eliminate what doesn't actually matter, you make space for what does. You stop living reactively, responding to whatever screams loudest for your attention. You start making intentional moves based on your values and vision. You become incredibly selective with your time, your energy, and especially your environment. You surround yourself with people who challenge you to grow, not people who comfort you into staying small. You stop settling for circumstances that don't align with where you're going. You stop playing small because it makes other people comfortable. You realize that being unrecognizable doesn't just mean looking different on the outside. It means thinking differently, acting differently, and expecting infinitely more from yourself than you ever have before. And yes, it will get lonely sometimes. Focus often means walking a path that most people aren't willing to walk. It means making choices that your old social circle doesn't understand. That's the price of transformation, and it's worth paying. You're not here to blend in with everyone else. You're not here to live a life that looks exactly like your neighbors. You're here to become everything you were born to be. And that version of you, the focused, disciplined, unstoppable version, can only be revealed through sacrifice, through choosing what you want most over what you want right now, through waking up every single day with a sense of urgency, knowing that your time is the most valuable currency you'll ever possess. You don't need anyone's permission to lock in on your vision. You don't need perfect circumstances, the right background, or external validation from people who don't even know where they're going themselves. What you need is one decision to go all in on your potential. One decision to stop tolerating mediocrity in any area of your life. One decision to become so focused on your growth that people can't help but notice the transformation. That's when everything changes in your life. Not when the world believes in you, but when you believe completely in your ability to focus and follow through on what matters most. So let today be that turning point in your story. Let this be the moment where you choose to rise above all the noise that's been keeping you distracted. Let this be the day you draw a clear line between who you were and who you're becoming. Cut the excuses that have been holding you back. Cut the distractions that have been stealing your potential. Lock in on your mission with the intensity of someone whose life depends on it. Focus until you're unrecognizable, until your results speak so loudly that your words become irrelevant, until your daily habits reflect your highest standards instead of your lowest impulses, until your life looks exactly like the vision you refuse to give up on. no matter how long it takes or how hard the journey becomes. That's the true power of focus, and it's available to you right now, in this moment, if you're willing to make the choice and never look back. Your time is coming. Keep believing. Keep fighting. Don't just watch. Go out and prove them wrong. Thank you for being part of the journey. If you liked it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.